This is the AirTest 7216 controller, and this is used for controlling ventilation in parking garages. It can work with VFD or as an on-off system. I'm just going to open up the controller, and inside you can see the various components of the controller. Down at the bottom here is the controller. These are the inputs from the sensors on this side right here. The signal to the VFD is just above right here, and then relays to activate horn and strobe. Horn in case there's a high level, and strobe in case there's a sensor fault are activated. And then at the top here you can see that there's actually a keypad that allows interface to the entire control system. Okay, this is the AirTest controller, and as you can see there's a number of buttons here. One is just if you want to silence the horn or strobe on the system. One is to look at or adjust the settings, and then this just gives an overall view of what the settings are. So here you have a choice of looking at what the VFD is outputting right now, and we can press enter over here and we can see that the level in the garage is 0 ppm. The VFD is set to a 25% output, and that relates to 8 milliamps to the VFD, which means the VFDs again will be running at 25%. We can exit that. If we go back to status again, we can take a look at the input levels from the CO sensors in milliamps or ppm. So let's just take a look at ppms for a minute. We'll press enter, and there you can see a display of all the concentrations. Things are pretty quiet in the garage right now, so everything is reading 0. The other thing is our control signal is based on an average over time that we can adjust, and so that rather than reacting to the highest level instantaneously with the different sensors, we actually work on a time-weighted average. Alright, then if we want to go and adjust that time setting, we can go into settings, and we can either view the settings or edit the settings. We'll choose to edit the settings, and then using the up and down buttons we can, for example, look at sensor averaging. And if we press enter here, basically for each sample interval is 5 seconds, and so right now it's set to control based on a 10-second average. And what we're going to do is increase this so that we're actually controlling it on a 2-minute average, which means we have to adjust this. There are 24 5-second intervals in a 2-minute average. So that's 5 seconds times 24 equals 2 minutes. So there, now we have it where it will look at the average over 2 minutes and then do the control on that. And the idea behind that is just to make sure that you don't have spurious spikes from the CO2 sensor ramping up fans when the levels will spread out and even out in a space. So to adjust the settings, we press settings, and then we have the choice to view what the settings are or edit. We'll go into edit right now, and as you can see we can adjust the day and the time, the clock inside the unit. We can set occupied and unoccupied periods over a 7-day period, adjusting hour by hour. We can adjust the sensor averaging, which we just did, and look at horn and relay trips, and this really just tells us we sound an alarm when levels are high, and we can edit the sequence for silencing the horn and the strobe, and we can adjust the VFD control, and maybe we can just go down there for a minute so you can see what that looks like. If we go in there, you can see what we're saying right now is we run at a baseline of 25%, and it will start to ramp up once levels reach 10 ppm, and as they exceed that they'll ramp up to 100% output at 35 ppm. So that's the control strategy we use with this controller, and you can adjust those parameters if you want. If we go back and the last point in edit, we can actually go and test the horn and strobe, for example, on the last and oh, we don't have it hooked up yet, so that's why it's not going off, but we could hear the relay click. That's good, and we can hear the relay click for that, so the horn and strobe will be hooked up later. For more information on the CN7216 controller or other AirTest sensor products for CO and NO2, please contact us at our website or via email.